All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about that voice in your head. You know the one that just never seems to shut up, especially when you really, really want it to. In this explainer, we're going to dig into the actual science of overthinking, why our brains get stuck in these loops, and what's really going on in there.
Just picture this for a second. Your workday is done, you've put your phone away, the house is finally still. All that outside noise just fades away.
And then bam! Just like that, the volume inside your head cranks up to 11, right? All of a sudden, your mind is just buzzing with thoughts and worries and a million what-ifs. So you find yourself replaying that awkward chat from this morning, thinking of the perfect thing you should have said. Sound familiar? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. You're caught in the overthinking cycle, and it turns out it's not some personal failing. It's literally how your brain is wired. So what's the deal? Why can't we just stop? Well, this isn't about willpower. It's about a very specific process that's happening inside your brain, one that's designed to pretty much run on its own. And this is a really important distinction to make. Productive thinking, that moves you forward. It finds solutions. But overthinking, man, that's like a car spinning its wheels in the mud. You're burning a ton of energy, making a lot of noise, but you're not actually going anywhere. You're just stuck. So what is this engine that's just spinning its wheels all the time? Well, neuroscientists actually have a name for it. It's called the default mode network. The DMN is, in a nutshell, your brain's autopilot. When you're not laser focused on a task, when you're just driving or showering or letting your mind wander, this is the network that lights up. Its whole job is to connect your past experiences with things that might happen in the future. It's trying to help you make sense of your own story. And this is the thing. The DMN is actually an amazing tool. I mean, it helps us learn from the past and plan for the future. The problem is when it kicks into overdrive. It stops planning and starts spinning these wild stories, usually worst-case scenarios. And this is the crucial part. It starts to mistake those imagined threats for real danger. And this is where it gets physical, right? Your brain, it can't always tell the difference between something that's actually happening and something you're just vividly imagining. So when your DMN spins some story about you failing or getting rejected, your body reacts like it's happening right now. Your heart races, your muscles get tense, you are physically feeling your thoughts.
Okay, but why is it so hard to just stop? Why is it so sticky? Well, it's not just a bad habit. Turns out there's some powerful chemistry at play that keeps us totally hooked.
Check this out. It's a total trap. Your brain thinks it's trying to solve a problem, so it gives you this tiny hit of dopamine, which is like the maybe chemical. It gives you that feeling of, maybe if I just think about this a little longer, I'll figure it out. But of course, you don't find a clear solution, the uncertainty is still there, and now your brain wants another hit of that maybe. It becomes this exhausting and weirdly addictive loop. So listen, if this is you, I really want you to hear this. It is not a personal failure. It is not a character flaw. It's your brain's chemistry chasing a reward that never really comes. Just understanding that can be the first huge step to breaking free. So this mental habit doesn't just feel bad in the moment. It comes at a real, measurable cost to our well-being. And psychologists have a specific term for this destructive pattern. It's called rumination. It's that constant mental replay, going over past events or future worries again and again, without ever getting to a resolution. And here's the crazy paradox. It's your brain's misguided attempt to keep you safe, but by trapping you in your head, it ends up stealing your ability to actually live in the present moment. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the two paths. Productive thinking actually moves you forward. It brings clarity, it solves things. The other path, rumination, just digs you deeper into a hole. It creates anxiety and keeps you totally stuck. Man, this one really hits home. That feeling of control we think we're getting when we overthink, it's just an illusion. And the price we pay for that illusion is our own peace of mind. Okay, enough about the problem, we get it. Now for the most important part. How do we actually do it? How do we turn down the volume and find a little bit of quiet? And here is the really hopeful part. The solution isn't about fighting your brain or wrestling it into submission. The key is already built right in. The same system that gets stuck in overdrive also has a natural off switch. We just have to learn where it is. And we're not talking about some complicated life overhaul here. These are simple, physical things that work by shifting your brain's focus. When you engage your senses, like the feeling of your feet on the ground when you walk, the physical act of writing, the rhythm of your own breath, you're activating other parts of your brain, and that, in turn, quiets the DMN down. You're just giving it a different job to do.
This right here, this is a total game changer. Trying to force your mind to be completely silent, that's a losing battle. It's impossible. The real goal is just to create a little bit of space, some distance, to realize that you are the one observing the thoughts, you are not the thoughts themselves. That little bit of space, that's where the peace is.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's be super clear about something. Thinking is one of our greatest gifts. It solves incredible problems, it creates beautiful art, it builds entire civilizations. But overthinking, that's a whole different animal. At its core, it's our brain's ancient survival instinct, that fear response, just running wild in a modern world where most of the tigers are imaginary. So the next time you feel that internal chatter starting to spiral out of control, just see if you can pause, take a breath, and remind yourself that you don't actually have to engage with every single thought that pops into your head. You don't have to solve it. You can just let it pass by. Ultimately, this is all just an invitation to shift from that frantic, circular thinking to a slower, deeper, more present way of being. It's an invitation to give that hardworking mind of yours the rest it absolutely deserves.